So imagine taking a sledgehammer to like a massive digital billboard, shattering it into four pieces, and yet the picture across them still aligns perfectly. You have probably seen these massive video walls in sports bars or storefronts, but today we are taking a deep dive into the exact piece of hardware that makes it all happen. It is the WolfPack 4 output video wall processor from HDTV Supply.
Yeah, it essentially acts like a high-tech digital jigsaw puzzle maker, if you will. You feed it a single video source, and it just slices that feed into perfectly calculated pieces to stretch across up to four displays.
Right, and it handles pretty much any input you throw at it, like HDMI, VGA, or even one of those old school CVBS connections, the yellow RCA video cables we used to plug into VCRs back in the
Oh
day.
yeah, those things. But really, the whole point is getting that professional synchronized control room effect, but, without the massive Hollywood budget.
Exactly. And the versatility of the layouts is really the main draw here, right? Because you aren't just locked into a standard 2 by 2 square of TVs.
No, not at all. You can configure your screens as like a 1 by 4 vertical tower or maybe a 4 by 1 horizontal ribbon. It just takes that single input and stretches it seamlessly across whatever shape you build.
Okay, speaking of those different shapes and layouts, there is a feature in the specs that sounds totally bizarre at first. I mean, it has this mirror function that allows a complete 180-degree flip of the image on each individual TV. Why on earth would someone intentionally install a television completely upside down?
I know, it sounds crazy, but it actually comes down to the physical hardware of the TVs themselves. Standard, off-the-shelf consumer TVs usually have a really thick plastic bezel at the bottom.
Oh, where the brand logo and the remote sensors are.
Exactly. So if you stack two standard TVs normally, right side up, you end up with this thick, ugly black line right through the middle of your video wall.
Ah, so you flip the top TV upside down so the thin top bezels meet in the center. That is brilliant.
Right. The top screens physically sit upside down to create a seamless border in the middle, and then the processor electronically flips the video feed 180 degrees so the picture itself still looks perfectly right side up to the viewer.
Wow, so it solves a physical hardware problem with a clever software trick.
Yep. It is entirely focused on optimizing the visual effect and layout flexibility.
Okay, that makes total sense. But wait, I have to play devil's advocate here based on the customer Q&A section. What if I don't want to stretch the whole image? Say I just want to grab the center of my video feed and crop it onto one specific screen.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a hard no on this specific model.
Oh,
The manufacturer is very clear that the processor doesn't support input cropping at all.
wait, really? Not at all. Or what about four different feeds, like a sports bar wanting to show four different games at once on those four screens?
Also, no, this device is strictly designed to take one large image and squeeze it across the connected screens. It is a one-to-many stretcher. Yeah, if you want multi-source multitasking where each screen does its own entirely separate thing, you would definitely need to upgrade to a completely different, much more expensive matrix system entirely.
Got it. Even with that limitation, though, there is a capability here that turns this from just a giant TV setup into a really effective digital sign. It has this built-in function for scrolling text, right?
Yes, the roll text feature. And the beauty of it is really the simplicity. You don't need a separate, dedicated computer constantly feeding graphics into the system.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right, you literally just load your text onto a standard USB drive, plug it into the processor, use the 37-button remote to hit menu, go to roll text, and click OK.
That is wild. So a local business could just overlay a scrolling promotional message or maybe their company name right over whatever video is playing.
Exactly, yes. And you can adjust the word size, the color, the background, and even the scrolling speed entirely on the device itself.
Wow.
Yeah, it turns a standard video wall into a dynamic marketing tool in like 5 seconds.
So wrapping this up for you listening, at just under $400, this processor is a highly focused, budget-friendly tool. It is perfect for creating a massive visual impact, provided your goal is one cohesive giant picture rather than, multi-source multitasking.
Yeah, it knows exactly what it is, a specialized puzzle maker that handles the heavy lifting without overcomplicating the installation.
Absolutely. And with plug-and-play processors making massive scrolling video walls so affordable and easy to program, how is the visual landscape of our local businesses going to change? Are we approaching a point where seeing just a single standard TV in a storefront window is going to feel completely obsolete? When the barrier to entry drops this low, maybe the digital jigsaw puzzle becomes the new standard. That is definitely something to mull over. We'll see you next time.